Silly moon. Still daytime. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today? I hope you've been well. I am fast approaching what is going to be a 3-month suspension of motovlogging, which is going to be torturous and no fun and a very bad time. So, the other evening I made a post asking anyone with any questions or queries or curiosities of any description to send them, so that I might answer them in a motovlog before I lose the chance to. And I have a feeling that it might take me a little while, because I have a habit of rambling, so I'm just going to keep writing until I get them all finished. And then wherever the hell I end up, I'm going to probably be out of fuel and lost, but hey, that's what GPS is for, right? Anyway, the first question is from an anonymous user who asks what my favourite television shows are, and why. At the moment, I think I would say House MD. I've been marathoning it pretty much non-stop for the last few weeks, and it's one of those things that just grows on you. Plus, I mean, House is an arse. He's an absolute, complete and utter jerk, and IRL, he would be, nobody would be able to get along with him, but it's a television show and it's not real, so it's nice to have that disconnect that allows you to like someone who's otherwise completely unlikable. Anyway, I like Supernatural. The latest seasons have been sort of especially with this whole Crowley's mum thing, but in general I like the show. The brothers have a good dynamic. I was kind of pissed when they turned that one dude who was so important to the damn plot last season into a monster of the freaking week in this last episode, or the episode before anyway. That was disappointing. But yeah, I like Supernatural in general. There's a whole bunch I like. I really like Agent Carter. I've been enjoying that. I like Sleepy Hollow. I love Ichabod. He's such a dork. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything at the moment. Let's go to the next question. If I can do this very gently. Yep. Okay. For the vlog, favorite pastime. This is it. This has got to be it. I love writing. I love it so much. I'm going to be really sad if the next 12 weeks, that I won't be able to. I'm probably going to sneak in a few rides here and there just to keep the bike going. But it won't be a daily thing like that's been so far. So let's see, next one. The vlog. Would be an ideal or even perfect day for you if you could be anywhere or do anything, and just what would it be like? Well, okay, so I'm assuming for this question that we're taking stuff like transit times out of the equation, because flying all over the world would cut a day down to maybe a few hours of actual time. So first I would want to go to Florida and make a surprise visit to one of my very dearest people. Honestly, I think I'd be pretty content with just that. Just spending a day in Florida, that'd be lovely. But I mean, there's a lot of places I'd like to see, I suppose. But you know, it's not really any fun traveling alone, so if I could get to take someone along with me, then yes, definitely I'd love to see the Iguaz Falls. I'd love to see the Catacombs of Paris. I don't know. I usually travel alone, so I don't put much thought into where I would go if I had a traveling companion, which I probably should at some point, huh? Anyway, so yeah, basically spending a day in Florida with someone who's very dear to me. Next question. The next question comes from an orange light. God damn it. The next question comes from Maddie, who asks, Dear Monsieur Eggbot, spelled E-double-G. Thank you, Maddie. Why am I, Madeline Thank You Corn Dog, your favourite follower in the world? Okay, so there's three potential reasons for this. First and most importantly, I should say, is that Maddie has pretty consistently a good balance between criticism and positivity that it's hard to find these days, I find. There are lots of blogs going around where everything is super happy, positive, everything is, yeah, come on, get around there. Super happy fun time, snowflakes and rainbows and puppies and yada yada yada. And then there are the other blogs which are always critical of absolutely everything all the time, always, which can get kind of tiring. But Maddie has a much more balanced blog, I've found, and it's always a joy to have on my dash. And her opinions are usually very well thought out, unless they're about food fight. Even then, still very well thought out, to be honest. The second reason is that Maddie's art style is... Wait, hang on, am I supposed to be listing reasons why I like following you, or why you're my favorite follower? Tomato tomato. Anyway, yes, the second reason is because Maddie's art style is... It's nice and it's cute and it's kind of cartoony and well-rounded and consistent and flexible, and just, I really enjoy her comics. Yeah, Maddie's art is a good. So yeah, hey, follow Maddie's art blog, which is here. Damn it, I can't remember the URL. Right, and the third reason is because Maddie is fucking cute as heck, okay? Just look. This is Maddie. Cute as a button. Yeah. It's shallow and a crappy reason to follow someone, but still, whatever. Next question. So the next question comes from an anonymous user who asks, for the vlog, do you have a comfort crutch? I know it's stupid. It isn't stupid, just so as you know, but I still have a blankie I had since I was 3. Now, I used to have a comfort crutch. It was a bookmark, of all things, but it was knitted into the shape of a worm, so it was a bookworm. And I had that thing. It lived in the top pocket of my school uniform from the age of... Christ, I don't even remember, actually. It was for a long time. It was for a good 6 or 7 years, I think. But I think in the process of moving house, I lost it. His name was Wormy, which is incredibly inventive, I know. But yeah, I lost him and I was very sad. So I do not have a comfort crutch anymore, but I did. Yeah. So the next question is from Rachel, who asks, a very long one. Yeah, I've got a question for your vlog thing. Why are you such a big nerd? Huh? How is it? Okay, so yeah, we get the point, Rachel. Okay, the answer to this question, why am I such a big nerd, is because, I don't know, it's fun. I like being a nerd. Not really anything wrong with being a nerd. And apparently nerd is the new cool, according to movies and stuff. No. I'm a nerd because I don't have anything else. I'm a nerd because that's who I am. You ask an impossible question of me, Rachel. How dare. Next! This one's easy. What's your favourite food? That one is a piece of cake to answer. I love lasagna. Okay, Italian food in general, I'm mad about. But lasagna's like... My grandmother made me lasagna for dinner a little while ago, and I did... I melted. I was in a puddle, eating my lasagna. It was like a full-sized casserole dish. And I wouldn't have even shared it if I didn't have to. Anyway, moving on. The next one is from I Killed Princess Peach, who asks, what would you do if ceilings became sentient? Or even better, what if they already were, but have no method of communication aside from accidentally crossing a lane line because you're not looking where you're going because you suck and are stupid? Pay attention to the road. Don't take your eyes off the road. Don't be fiddling with your mobile phone, people. Stupid. Anyway, what would I do if ceilings were sentient? Well, first of all, I'd probably hang a tarp about 6 inches below my ceiling and every other ceiling in the house, because, you know, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with, because I'm assuming that they're sentient and are able to communicate with each other at least, but I'm not sure about how comfortable I am with ceilings gossiping about my latest, I don't know, back pimple or something ridiculous like that. If they desired to no longer retain their places as ceilings, I would certainly join a worldwide movement to free the ceilings. But as far as what if they are sentient but have no method of communicating goes, I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. Like, I mean, they're obviously there, they're doing their own thing, they're chill, they're whatever, either that or they're screaming silently for a release from this horrendous existence that is their lives, but I can't really do anything about that. Sure, I'd like to help the ceilings, but short of taking a pipe to every ceiling in every house in the country, there's not really much to be done about it, unfortunately, which is kind of a bleak answer, I'm sorry. But You Gotta Have Blue Hair has asked in reply to the original post, what's your dream job? Okay, so this has had a couple of answers over the years, but the current one is detective. Yeah, detective feels like a job that I'd be good at and something that I could apply to myself to, and something that wouldn't bore me. That would be the major selling point, is not boring me. I did want to be... I wanted to be a blacksmith for the longest time when I was a kid. I discovered that there really wasn't much of a market, aside from like wrought iron gates and other iron fixtures and stuff like that. So it just, Ooh. Let's go. Ha! That was fun. What was I saying? Right, dream job. I wanted to be a physicist as well. That would have been something that I could definitely apply myself to, but I didn't have the chops for it, and I didn't have access to the courses or whatever I needed. So that dream kind of was a bit of a pipe dream for a while, and then I kind of gave it up because, not a very realistic dream. But yeah, detective is something that I would really love to do. That's the goal at the moment. Whatever. For the vlog. What's it like to be Tumblr famous, so to speak? Worst and best part about it. Okay. So, to be Tumblr famous, it feels basically like, it doesn't feel like it's changed since I only had like 3 followers when I first started the blog. It just feels the same. It doesn't really feel any different. There are pros and cons to it. The worst part, I would have to say, is when a post goes ballistic and you have a whole bunch of people who either weigh in for no reason whatsoever, or completely miss the point and misinterpret the post, or will proceed to just like the captions and comments and reblog thingies that get me the most are when people are like, oh my god, or they're literally saying nothing, they're just adding text to the bottom of it. Think Tumblr back in 2011, and that's the kind of comments I'm talking about. That's pretty much my only peeve as far as being Tumblr famous goes. Best part about it is just being able to boost things that I think are important. That's something that's pretty much why I still have the blog, because there have been sort of rough patches where I felt like, you know what, why do I even have this anymore? But the reason I do still have it is because of those moments where I'm just like, you know what, I've got a ridiculous amount of followers, I can just reblog this and it's going to be seen, and there's bound to be people to whom it's important who are going to be seeing this, so why would I want to give that up, you know? Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? I suppose I'm going to Budgie Way. Or maybe I'm not going to Budgie Way. Yeah, screw going to Budgie Way. This is a rather nice road. Very smooth. Wow. That's a nice house. There are lots of nice houses around here, actually. Schmancy. Anyway, I think I answered that to the best of my abilities at the moment, so let's move on to the next one. What's something that you want to personally grow in as far as your personality, character traits, or personal weaknesses go? Okay. It's an excellent question. I like to think that I'm pretty even-tempered, but I do prove myself wrong from time to time, so I definitely like to work on that. That's something that I would... wrong lane. Good on me. Maybe sort of evening out my moods a little more, because I do have, you know, highs and lows all the... Ooh! Maybe a little less distractible. That would be lovely. But yeah, okay, so yeah, definitely a little... a more even sort of general level of moods, I suppose. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to move on, because otherwise I'm just gonna end up at bloody cans before I finish this question. Next. So the next question is from an anonymous user who asks, are you really a unicorn? Maybe. There are some myths that say that unicorns take on human form, and but I'm just gonna go with the standard definition and go no. I'm pretty sure I'd have a little more trouble putting on my helmet than I currently do if that were the case. So yeah, that's a no. Thank you for the question though, Anonymous. It was thought-provoking. Next question is from an anonymous user who asks, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? I don't even want to fight 100 duck-sized ducks. Ducks are vicious. So I'd probably have to go with the duck-sized horses. Well, in general, I would say that horses, most of their intimidatingness comes from their size and the fact that they're so strong. And when you take that away from them and make them really small, that makes them much less terrifying. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the horses, please and thank you. Next is from another anonymous user. Says, please randomly assemble a Dapper outfit. I like to think I do that basically every time I leave the house, so I'm just gonna do a little this.
Bitch crazy, walk, fashion baby, work it, move that bitch crazy, walk, fashion baby, work it, move that bitch crazy, walk, passion baby, work it, I'm a freak bitch.
And hopefully I just cut in something that was sort of walk, fashion baby. Actually, yeah, I think I'll use that track for it. Next question. For the blog, odd habits, like anything others have pointed out that you do on a regular basis as odd. I don't know. As far as what other people point out, I don't really, but I did notice the other day, I had this question on my mind, when I was doing groceries, and I noticed that I have an aversion to walking past automatic doors, and accidentally activating them when I don't mean to walk through them. It makes me feel bad. It's like the poor door wasted all this effort, and now I'm not even gonna go through it. Just I feel terrible. It's instantly. I feel much better if someone who is walking behind me goes through the door. Then I feel like it's not such a big deal. But I will skirt around what I think is the limits of the sensor's range. And if I accidentally step inside it and the door opens, I'll either have to walk through it or I'll just sort of walk away feeling very sheepish. I think that classifies as odd. That's pretty odd. Next question is from Catnip Senpai, who asks, do you like to bake? And if so, what's your favorite thing to bake? If you don't, what is your favorite baked good? So I'm going to take this as 3 questions. First being, yes, I do bake, and I like to bake. My favorite thing to bake is probably madeleines. I can never pronounce it properly, but they're the little French breakfast sweet bready cake things. I love them. I had a madeleine tin, but I recently rearranged my kitchen and I can't find it. So I'm gonna have to dig it out because I haven't baked them in a little while. I do like that, but I gotta say they're not my favorite baked thing to eat. I think my favorite baked thing to eat is, well lasagna counts as baked, right? That's a baked, yeah, lasagna. Okay. There we go. Boxes or briefs or silly questions from those 10,000, 100,000 question posts. 100,000? Yeah, it's 100,000. I can't actually remember any particular questions from the question meme posts. So boxes or briefs, right? Briefs, just to put it simply. Boxes offer zero support. I've worn boxes when trying to ride, and it doesn't go well. If I rode a cruiser, maybe, yeah, that'd be alright. But with a sports bike, you shift around on the seat for sharp corners, and you know there's a whole bunch of stuff going on down there, and you need the extra support. So yeah, most definitely, I would have to say briefs. So next question. Describe yourself as a superhero. Ooh, tough one. Well, I don't know. Because superpowers basically, they're usually based off a personality trait or a particular thing that someone's good at. Right? And it just sort of amplifies it. Like, well, I'm assuming it is based on heroes. I don't know. Like, unless I'd become like Taylor Man or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's not really anything that I'm sort of excellent or exceptional about. I mean, there's a whole bunch of superpowers that I would like to have. First and foremost would be instant teleportation. That I'd be all about. I think that's the last of the questions. So I am just going to scoot on home, which is about, I don't know, what, half an hour away at this point. It's been a pretty decently long ride, which has been nice. All the bats are out. Or are those parakeets? Those are parakeets. Noisy buggers. They're pretty though. Really nice.